stream so people can tune in as we're doing it. All right. All right, guys. So if you're tuning in right now, I don't know if anyone is in here yet, but yeah, I'm Jack Connor, and welcome to this live stream. I've got my longtime friend Chad Radosevich here. It's been a long time since I've had you on the show. In fact, I remember 10 years to the day. Today we actually did another pretty somber live. It wasn't a live stream; it was a podcast, but we were talking about the Hulk Hogan, sex tape, getting out there and with the racism scandal and everything. But now, we all know what happened today. We found out the unfortunate news that that Hulk Hogan passed away today. And, for the last 10 days, you and I have been talking about, we've been talking about Bubba the Love Sponge going live and talking about all these health updates. And we weren't, we weren't sure, like, okay, is he trying to make something up? Is he trying to get something going? But regardless of what his intention was, it's unfortunately he was correct. And that really sucks. I know for me, it's been a hell of a gut punch this week because we lost him and Ozzy Osbourne in the last couple of days. And those are two of my childhood heroes from different fandoms for sure. But there's a lot of interplay between there.
And Theo Huxley.
Yeah, and Malcolm Jamal Warner too. I mean, like, talk about like one of the most iconic TV sons ever.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's been a crazy week.
And this is the cherry on the top here for me. Really? I mean, I don't know. Maybe Ozzy was more for you.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I don't know a lot of Ozzy's music, to be honest, except for the crazy thing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm a huge rock guy.
I didn't realize how big he was. Like all the concerts he was selling out, and he was just like last week he had his last show or something, or a month ago or something. And
it was it was about a week or two ago when he had, they wanted to do this big farewell show. They got all these different rock celebrities come in and doing special performances, and Ozzy did a set of stuff from his solo career, and they reunited all 4 original members of Black Sabbath to do a set there. And it's just, you couldn't script like a better send off.
Yeah,
like right before, like it's like something out of a movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I didn't realize how big he was, and then I went let me see how much money he's made over his career or what his net worth is. It's like $220 million. I'm like, wow. I didn't know I knew he was big, just not that big.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think especially
one of his songs that I only know one of his songs. I'm like, usually multiple songs. I've probably heard more than, I just don't know the names of them or something. But
yeah, you might have heard some of his other songs in passing, but I think really he became this huge cultural figure, especially in 2002 when the Osbournes came out. That's when we were at school. That was, that show was massive.
Yeah, I wonder if he was doing some acting there or something, because he seemed out of it there, like he didn't have much time 20 years ago.
Well, he had to be working a little bit. It had to be a little bit of a work, but I mean,
not to get off track, but
no, I mean, the thing with him was that his wife Sharon, she was the one really running the show. She was a ruthless manager and promoter, and occasionally did some questionable things to if you got on her bad side, man, she would take you down. She was brutal. But I mean, she made his career, especially after he left Sabbath. He probably would be dead if he didn't meet her. Yeah, and we might be like, oh, whatever happened to that guy from Black Sabbath? But
right, yeah.
But yeah, man, to do this and then lose the Hulkster.
Yeah, and especially when I found out, I was like, oh my God, it was 10 years ago that we were having a podcast about the unfortunate, scandal that happened. Which
hang on one second, dude. This is my wife.
oh,
Hey,
okay.
babe. I'm,
I have the what?
okay, I'm in the middle of doing a live stream right now.
Oh.
Yeah. Say hi to everyone, Christina.
Hi.
Hi, Christina.
Okay, thank you, babe. All right. There you go. That's my wife in for the hot tag,
Yeah.
Christina.
So
we're live, pal.
yeah, right. We'll do it live.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I mean, when you and I met when we were in high school, like one of the things that really bonded you and I was like we were both just massive wrestling fans and huge Hulk Hogan fans too.
Here we go. You see
Yeah.
the shirt?
No, you got the red and yellow on. It's
Got
perfect.
the belt.
Oh, nice. Nice. You came ready to go.
Yeah, I came. Since we were going live on the big screen, I had to bring out the big gold belt. To me, this is the best looking championship looking belt in all wrestling. Even though I'm a WWF, I still call it WWF. WWF guy. This to me was like it just looked better design than the Golden Eagle. But the Gold Eagle, it looked better on Hogan. Like this belt didn't look as natural as the what we grew up watching him wearing, that black and gold winged eagle championship WWF belt.
Oh, of course. But, that's the one that Brett and Sean wore and all that stuff.
Yes, and I think they should just keep that belt the same throughout to add tradition instead of like always updating it. It doesn't hold as much value in my opinion because it's like a new looking belt, and if you tuned out for a while and then you come back after a few years and you're like, what is this belt this person's wearing? You're not familiar with it. But
there are definitely a lot of reasons why they do that stuff. Merchandise.
Yeah, I mean merchandise, selling, and all that, right? But
and plus,
I mean, cool belts,
it's the giant logo of the company right there, so you can give that to sports teams, and everybody knows exactly what it is. So that's
still a cool looking belt. It's just I would rather keep a tradition like how the Stanley Cup is the same and the NBA trophy is the same and the NFL trophy is the same. Like that, whoever wins it is like there's a lot of tradition on that, winning that, and that's how the belt should be. And so I can get into wrestling, but we need to get back to Hogan.
No, of course. Well, I mean, you and I were both massive wrestling and Hulk Hogan fans when we met, and that was one of the things that really bonded us, when we were kids, when we first met each other. But what does, I mean, I guess I was going to ask, what does Hulk Hogan mean to you specifically? Like, what is some of your earliest memories? Like, what got you into him?
I loved his energy and his charisma, obviously, the positive attitude, say your prayers, take your vitamins, and he was the champion. To be all honest too, I was like a huge Ultimate Warrior fan. Yeah. So it was tough when they had to fight each other. I was leaning towards the Warrior because he's actually, to be honest, he's my like all-time favorite. And then Hogan's like a second to me. So those were the two, in my opinion, the best like charismatic characters in the 80s and early 90s.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you had so many people who when it comes to the Warrior, you had so many people who, maybe haven't watched wrestling in years, but like if you're of a certain age, everyone knew who the Ultimate Warrior was.
Yes. And he's still like, even though he didn't have that long of a career on top or anything, still a lot of people love him. And even Hogan would mention him in a lot of his promos, even like a couple months ago when he was promoting his he has a new wrestling company coming out. Do you know about that? Like the
they were looking for like an amateur wrestling thing. I think Kurt Angle has like his name attached to it as well, which is smart, really, because
he's one of the best of all time, and they need another guy now that Hogan's gone to.
Well, obviously now that he's gone, but honestly, branding wise, like Angle kind of makes more sense, even though he's not as big of a star as Hogan was.
Yeah,
but
Hogan was there to bring the eyeballs, and then now,
right.
Unfortunately,
it seemed like a bizarre
ground yet.
It's like, oh, really? This is what he's doing now? I don't know about that, but
what? What'd you say? Say that again.
No, it seemed like a bizarre like pairing, like Hulk Hogan
Yeah,
presenting amateur wrestling, because it's like, oh,
right.
what, really? He's doing this? Okay, but
I got it though. It was like he's gonna bring like the charismatic like
I
entertainment
mean,
part to it and teach the other amateurs how to like bring that kind of energy. Although he was mentioning in a lot of the promos that they already had a lot of energy, and so like he was really excited about that.
nice.
And that would help bring a lot of attention to the new sport. And I kind of wanted to at least see like the first episode or whatever, like live matches, and see maybe it is something that once the guys get on the mic and they get you interested in the match and in the storyline, that okay, now they're actually really, there's a real competition here. Although I do consider WWF, WE, or professional wrestling is kind of like a competition.
Oh yeah,
The guys are competing on the mic to win the fans, you know, votes
they're
or
certainly competing backstage for the spots too.
yes, but whoever
Yes.
is the most entertaining is going to win the belt. They're not going to throw it on someone who can't entertain. And that is a competition. So when you're on the mic out there, sometimes they just let them go, go
Yeah.
ahead, like do your promo, but like stick to like, this is what's going to happen. But the more entertaining you are, the more the fans buy your merchandise, the more you get promoted. It's a competition in that sense. It's not like you have to say this and do it this way. Maybe sometimes, but when Stone Cold said what he said, like if Austin 316 says, "I just whipped your ass," that exploded.
Iconic. Yeah,
Like
instant.
they didn't tell him to say that; he did it himself. That's
Yeah, just
competition.
off the cuff.
That's
That was great.
capitalism. But yeah, Hogan had that natural ability, and that always, that's just going to draw to you. He had the yellow trunks and the red knee pads, and ripped his shirt off. Like that was always entertaining. I would always, when I was little, I'd take a Publix bag, and I would be able to fit in it, and I could rip the Publix bag off like it was
Nice.
like I was Hogan. But
Well, I mean, you already had the blonde hair, so you were halfway there.
yeah. And then once, well, yeah, anyways, I really loved when he turned heel, though. That was when I was like, that's actually like my favorite version of Hulk Hogan in a way, the Hollywood Hogan. I was like, wow. Like,
Think about how amazing that was. I mean, as huge as the red and yellow era was in the 80s and just, and throughout the early 90s, like that was just so revolutionary for the wrestling business. And then to be a part of like the biggest wrestling angle ever, and to change your character that drastically and still be that, like that popular, as a bad guy, like it was incredible. Like to have those two distinct like career things. Like most people don't even get one of those. He had two amazing runs like that.
That's why, I mean, you got to say he's the greatest in my opinion of all time. I know people got Ric Flair ahead of him. I was never a huge Ric Flair fan myself. I respected him, but I didn't.
Of course.
I didn't get him as much as like other people like love him like crazy. And I'm like, he's not even in my like top 5 or anything. I like his personality and stuff. He's fun to watch on social media and all that. But
oh yeah, no, he's a character. But I mean, but like you and I weren't NWA guys, growing up.
Yeah,
I mean,
so like that was it. Yeah, he was. I got to see him I got to see him at WWF early.
Yeah.
And I hated that too because I didn't really like him. And then he won the belt, or he won Royal Rumble, and anyways. But yeah, Hogan when he went heel, that was like, wow, like this is it. It almost seemed real. Like that's how good that angle was. That's the greatest angle. It'll never be that good. That's another unfortunate thing about in my opinion, like you can never make it seem that real anymore because everybody knows like it's a show. But back then it seemed like, holy smokes, like these guys are like invading WCW. Like this is WWF coming in, and now they got Hogan back in WWE. Like, and yeah, that was those are my favorite moments. And even though he lost against Ultimate Warrior, that like is one of my favorite matches of all time. Obviously I'm a Warrior fan first, so I was happy, but I thought he did a great job in that match, making it look as great as it can be. With I know like how difficult I guess it was to work with the Warrior, but
yeah, and honestly I wonder if that was why, because I mean, Hogan had a bad reputation later on for not wanting to put guys
Yeah.
over and whatnot. Like it's a lot of that started with Bret Hart in the early '90s, and then there was the whole thing about Starrcade '97 with Sting, which was kind of a debacle, and
that
it-
one.
and I
hate
love
that.
Sting too, but
That always bothered me how they couldn't like make that look better. Like they
no,
had momentum.
and that's the thing.
They
I
dumped
think
it in there, and
I
they're
think
like, "What the heck happened? Hogan won." Like it's clear. Like and they're gonna let Bret Hart come in, or I can't. Yeah, it was a slow count, or no, it was a fast count. It was supposed to be slow, and then it 1, 2, 3, and it's like, okay, he won. Like, what's going on here? And then Bret Hart comes out and it's like, no, like
and it's like they were trying to capitalize, and this was like a few months after Montreal too. Like he
yeah,
just showed up
I
with
know.
WCW,
It
which is-
didn't work. It didn't make sense.
It's so nuts how quickly all that happened.
It would make more sense if Hogan cheated Sting out of the winning, and it went the other way around. So it's like, what's going on here?
A lot has been said about that finish, and I mean, for me, it doesn't take away how cool the build-up was to that.
Yeah.
It was one of the greatest angles ever, and like the entrance and everything going into it was amazing. You had Sting, who had that character change as well, which is amazing. And then
I thought
the
Sting
story,
looked great too.
the story they were telling, and you hear all these different interviews about what happened, and a lot of people are like lay the blame on Hogan, because of that. But I mean, at the end of the day, there were only 3 people who really knew the full story of what was going on, and that was Hogan, Sting, and Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, and I wonder if we'll ever get.
And you can say what you will about Bischoff. Maybe he let Hogan run a little too wild, but at the end of the day, Bischoff was the boss, or at least he should have acted. I mean, he should have been the boss. I mean, technically he was, so he is the one who's responsible for calling the shots. Like, he could have said no. I mean, and then I mean, Sting hasn't, has been very diplomatic about it. I mean, you could tell in interviews that like he's not happy about how it happened, and he wasn't sure what was going down. But like he hasn't.
Maybe he'll feel more comfortable speaking.
I don't know. I think Sting,
or like in the future, not now, but.
Sting really isn't the type of guy to go out and like badmouth people and cause drama. He's not really about that. He's you don't hear anyone say anything bad about him, so he doesn't seem like like a guy who likes to stir the pot. But again, maybe he doesn't want to talk about it. There's also a possibility, and Sting was going through his own issues at that time.
That's right. Yeah.
With
I would have never known that.
And I think stuff with his marriage at the time, and he was that's when he like found religion and all this other thing. So who knows? We don't know what condition he was in going into it. So there could have been a lot of factors. It also could have been as simple as like Nick Patrick messing up the spot.
Yeah.
So
or maybe he was told to do that. Who knows? I don't know. I haven't heard anything from Nick Patrick on that. Like if he did like the fast count because he was told to do the fast count, or
yeah, I mean it's a big controversy and everything, and a lot of people want to blame Hogan for like not wanting to put the belt on Sting.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I mean the match still ended the way it should have. I mean, it's
I know. At the end of the day, whatever, Sting won. Okay,
winning the belt, and you had a
just
big
could have been
celebration.
done better. And
it was just a clumsy way of getting there, and it kind of screwed up the momentum of it. But
yeah.
Again,
because
he
it
still
could have
got
been an iconic match, and I guess it turns out that way because we're still talking about it 30 years later.
Yeah, people are still pissed.
8 years later, but nevertheless, whatever.
And then, like we were talking a couple of weeks ago about the whole Bash at the Beach 2001 debacle and what was going on there.
You never know if it's a work or not, because during that whole weird Vince Russo era, it was like we're doing a work within a work kind of thing. Like, so
yeah, but he
all
would
the
like
storylines were like that, and you couldn't tell.
They tried to do like the worked shoot thing, which I was never a big fan of that. It's like
that just was like a last resort. You could tell like WCW is.
Well, think about it this way: like if you're watching a movie,
desperate.
you're watching a movie, and then the character turns to the screen and is like, "By the way, this is all bullshit. Here's how it's really going down." Like that's going to take you out of it.
Yeah.
So
And at that time, I wasn't watching anymore. That's kind of all new storyline to me. Like Hogan, I know he turned back to yellow. I went to one of the Nitros in 1999. We were freshmen in high
Yeah,
school in Miami.
that was actually what got me to start watching it again. When I heard that Hogan went back to red and yellow, that's
Yeah.
what really got me back into wrestling. That was the same year that I moved to Florida and I met you and the
Yes.
whole thing. So I was diving right back into it.
So I thought that was cool that they brought him back to red and yellow again because the NWO thing kind of.
I think towards the end of that angle, like they were looking for something because they were doing the New Blood gimmick, and they were looking for something like, all right, well, and I think the story was like Hogan's like, all right, well, I got to kick it up a notch. So for this one, I'm going to be Hollywood, and then
yeah,
but like a babyface Hollywood, so it was kind of weird.
It was, yeah, yeah,
But
and
that was the last.
That's all new to me too. Like I just learned about all that because I stopped pretty much after like when we got into freshman year of high school, 1999. Then I kind of got too busy with like school and
we were all busy with stuff and
it wasn't. And if I watched anything, I was watching WWF because it was just so much better.
There were times during school, and I don't know. There were times during school where I would have like a VCR timer in my.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the TV in my room, and I would set it up to tape like Raw and Nitro.
Yeah,
because TNT would they would rebroadcast Nitro later at like 1 a.m. or something.
Well, they went right away. Yeah, after they would do it right away. Sometimes I remember at 11 o'clock. It was a 3-hour show, right? 8 till 11, and then at 11 it would restart. They would replay it.
Yeah, maybe it was something that had to do with like the West Coast feed. I don't know, but. That was like my little way of like hacking and like trying to watch both shows during the week.
Yeah, you had to it was such a
back in the day, man.
Yeah. But I didn't really know about that New Blood thing. Like I was trying to figure out what happened here. I know Hogan turned yellow and then all of a sudden in 2000 he's Hollywood again and then that was his last time being Hollywood in WCW, and that was weird.
And it's almost like WWE like almost forgets to tell the story about like, no, he did go back to red and yellow before he came.
Yeah,
like, no, he was just Hollywood the whole time, and we brought him back to the red and yellow. I'm like, no.
Yeah, he was wearing the traditional, trunks.
Yeah,
and then when he got to WWF, then when he went once they did the NWO.
He switched to the long tights. He didn't have
the like highlighted or the tie-dye tights, and
it was fine, whatever.
Yeah, but he wore that. That was like that's what he wore then. Like there was no other
from then on.
Yeah, there was nothing new. Like and probably because his leg, maybe his legs didn't look as good as they used.
But maybe not. I mean, he was getting up
the long tights, which whatever.
It was like sort of a hybrid of Hulk and Hollywood because you'd have the feather boas too, but in the red and yellow. So it was like mixing.
That boa thing came later. I was never a fan of the boa thing, and I thought that looked like too much. Like he didn't need that. It was like it was just extra stuff to wear.
It was like too much glam, and he was already like a badass looking biker. Like he didn't really need all.
Yeah, it didn't. I was never a fan of that, and he kind of brought that in later. He did that in WCW with NWO, and I wasn't a fan of that because it just didn't go as like a tough guy or something. Now you're wearing boas. I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe Rodman turned him onto that because I think Rodman.
But I mean, you would always have stuff like that where people would have issues with Hogan. And look, I mean, we know how wrestlers can be. I'm sure a lot of it was jealousy. Let's be honest. And he had a lot of stroke and creative control backstage. And
he earned it though. That's the thing. Like,
I mean,
in my opinion. That's how it works. Like,
and think about how things were when he came up in the business. Like it was cutthroat when he was like starting out too.
He got one. Yeah, his first day. He mentions a lot.
According to the story. So like you got to take everything with a grain of salt.
I mean, there's also like stuff I'm learning. Like I guess like he's told some.
He always told that story about when he first started training in the late '70s with Hiro Matsuda.
Yeah, and
Matsuda broke his leg on the first day.
Yeah,
to see if he'd come back.
And he went home and his dad.
Then 6 months. Then I quit 3 times, brother. But then I came back, dude. In around 6 months, and then
Yeah, I know.
But again, like you I know a lot of guys like that, and people are going to say, "Oh, he's a liar." I'm like, Well, like there's a difference between that and just kind of bullshitting a little bit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like kind of exaggerating, telling a story for dramatic effect. And I chalk a lot of his quirks to that. So I kind of
Yeah,
give him the
no,
benefit
I
of the
get
doubt a
it.
little bit.
He's a professional wrestler. That's his job. Like that's how he
And that's
talks.
just the way he came up too.
And
It's just
it sounds better like if you're telling a story. Like it's boring if that didn't happen or something. Like maybe he sprained his leg or something, like, and it didn't break exactly,
yeah,
but he
like
just
maybe
paused to say it broke. Like it's like,
he could have pulled a hammy or whatever,
yeah,
whatever it was,
something,
and just
yeah. It hurt. It obviously something the guy did hurt him, but it might not have been like as bad as he said or something.
which
But
is
it like
definitely
sounds,
believable in those days because like they
yeah.
were crazy men back
But
then.
maybe you talking about the break, yeah, and maybe that did happen. We don't know. Like you, but now back then you can come up with stories, but now people can call you on it, which
Well, for one thing, I will say that Hogan derangement syndrome is a real thing and was around for a while.
yeah, I don't get it. I think I like
And there was like sort of the controversy with him and like Shawn Michaels, and Shawn Michaels doing these crazy oversells for him, and people thought that was a thing. And
what when was this, when they were when they were
yeah, this is 2005.
okay. I still haven't watched those matches with
Yeah,
Shawn
well, like because Hogan won, he went over, and people
okay.
were pissed about that. They're like, "What? Why is he beating Shawn Michaels at this stage of the game?" And which kind of a weird decision.
Was it for
And
a belt or something?
I don't think it was.
It was just a regular match, and Shawn put him over because
Yeah,
that's what
Shawn
he
like went
wanted.
heel for a little bit
Okay.
and tried to be the old Shawn Michaels,
Yeah,
but
see, that was the best Shawn Michaels was the
yeah,
90,
well, back when he was coked up and
95,
just
96, 90. I
unhinged.
know. And
Yeah, he was.
I just heard Eric going. I know we're supposed to be talking about Hogan, but I heard Eric Bischoff on a open mic podcast type thing where you're in front of a crowd or whatever, just saying like if he had the chance to bring in Shawn Michaels, he wouldn't, because he was just, the stories he heard, that he was just too
Yeah,
chaotic to work
he
with,
was out of control back then.
and it was just wouldn't have worked. And he wouldn't have brought him in if he had the opportunity or something like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, Vince must have
how bad
really
he was.
liked him back then to
Yeah.
just put up with all his crap because he's like, he's my top guy. I have to.
Yeah. And now, man, and going back to Hogan passing and stuff, it's super sad. Like I was like hoping like to get to see him again. I saw him 12 years ago when I went to the opening of the beach shop. That's where I got my shirt.
I was going to ask because I mean, look, we both grew up in the Tampa Bay area, in Tampa, St. Pete, and obviously he's such a huge local celebrity there. Even before I lived down there full time, I would still come down during the summers. My cousins would talk to me about him, and
Yeah.
I never got the chance to really meet him and sit down with him. I live in Orlando, and he's got the beach shop here. I kind of wish I would have just sucked it up, paid the $200, and gone over there to meet him, to get a picture and just to talk to him.
In Clearwater, you're saying that first?
No, the beach shop in Orlando.
Oh, okay. So he was, obviously the first opening day. Yeah, that's what we did. We went and we paid. I don't remember what we paid, but I think only one person was allowed to get a picture because I didn't even get a picture, and I don't remember why. I can't remember. My friend Kobe did. It's on Facebook right now, but I can send you. I'll send
you. I was going to ask you if you got the chance to meet him. The only time I ever really saw him in concert or in person, I mean, was I guess I was out with my girlfriend at the time years ago, and her family, and we were at an Olive Garden at the Largo Mall, and Hulk just walked on by. I was like, "Oh, what's up, Hulk?" He's like, just walked by, like, "Oh, hey, brother." Just keep walking.
Wow.
I mean, that was a pretty cool surprise for me.
And he's like a lot bigger in person, huh?
But yeah, well, I mean, of course, he's walking in there.
What year was that?
Oh, that had to be
kind of like he's
that
done.
Had to be like 04, 05.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
dude, it was back when I was with Emma. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
He. Yeah. Right.
but of course he's at the Olive Garden, bandana, shirt with no sleeves,
It's
he's
funny. He like would dress just like how he would be on TV, kind of.
Like,
I remember I saw him one
he
time.
doesn't exactly blend in with the crowd.
Yeah, I know. Like he's not. He doesn't. He really can't though. He's so big. It's like it's so obvious who he is. Like, what's he gonna do? Wear a hat?
Right.
Yeah, he would maybe have to wear like a wig, but like I don't.
Right, and he's got that stash. I mean, that's gonna.
But he's just like a giant human being. Like he might have like giantism or something or whatever that is, where you're like everything's like bigger on you. Like
he was a big dude.
And his hands were huge too. Yeah, I tried to get him like how Titus O'Neil gave me that vicious chop to the chest.
Oh yeah.
We tried to get Hogan to do that to me, but he wouldn't do it. He's pretty smart because he probably thought like we'd sue him or something.
Right? Like, yeah. I mean,
Joe was there too, and he was like, "Go, Joe will do it or whatever." But we didn't get Joe to do it. I didn't want. Yeah, I was afraid of Joe.
Yeah, no, that's smart on Hulk's part. You never know with some people, but unfortunately, just in recent years, with all his personal drama, the stuff with his family and the tape,
I wanted to.
The Bubble Love Sponge deal, and and the thing that we did a podcast years ago, some of the stuff he said on tape, unfortunately, that really ruined his legacy for a lot of people. And
it did, and even for myself and you, I know, like it's just like that's something that's always going to be there, and you wish it didn't, and we're happy that he's asked for forgiveness, and that's everybody deserves a second chance, and hopefully
well, I mean, you and I are a couple of good Catholic boys. We grew up.
I believe in second chances. So like, nothing else.
We were taught to give forgiveness and grace, and to give people the benefit of the doubt. And
and so that's.
And look, there's no excusing the things he said.
There isn't.
It wasn't even, and kind of worse than what he said. It was the way he said it, I think.
It's hard. It's difficult to listen to. You don't want
and think about the time and the context he was in, and just the time and place, and that was such a crazy, just wild. There was so much going on with him at that point. You don't know what mental state he was in. Yeah,
it's hard. Yeah,
and it's a sensitive thing, and I don't begrudge anyone for reacting the way they did. Like I understand it.
Yeah,
as much as I can.
No, yeah, and that's
but I think when it comes to those things, you need to, and I'm going to try and approach this as delicately as I can, because I know it's a sensitive thing. When you're throwing around accusations like, oh, this guy's a racist, this guy's a bigot, this and that, it's like, okay, well, he said a lot of bad stuff. There's no denying that, no excusing that. But at the same time, you also have to look at, is there a pattern of behavior?
Right.
And I feel like if there was, people would have called him out on it a lot. Because he's been called out for a lot lighter offenses, in my opinion.
Good point. Yep. That's just the only time
he's worked with people. I mean, the people in his business, you work with people of all colors and backgrounds and all sorts of things. You had fans everywhere, and just so it's just, I never really bought that accusation that he was like this closet.
Yeah.
Hey, Samantha, come say hey.
Hey, Samantha.
It's so right if you sleep.
If you sleep in Mom's bed
today.
Yes, it's fine. These are my tag team partners here.
Yeah.
My little monsters, Samantha and Adeline, coming in for the run-in, the hot tag. No, not the head scissors. Hey, girls, say hi to Mr. Chad. He's one of my best friends from high school.
Hi, Mr. Chad.
Hello.
He says hi. They're on the headphones. They can't hear, but that's okay. All right, girls. Hey, I got to finish this real quick.
I know.
Okay. Love you. Ah. Oh, can you turn the light back on, please? Trying to get your dad in the dark. That's not cool. No respect.
Yeah, right. I know.
Nice.
That was a fun run in there.
It was the best. That made the whole show.
Yeah. But whose side are they on?
Adeline, my little one, she's the total heel.
I'm trying to mock Heenan
Yeah.
when Hogan ran out at the Bash of the Beach.
And oh, by the way, is the cat out of the bag on your?
What?
Is the cat out of the bag on number 3 for you?
Oh yeah, I posted about it.
Oh yeah, it's out there. You got.
Yeah, you're
you were
like the first person to know.
I know, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. Yeah, we're excited, but yeah, a lot of budgeting now, and
oh yeah.
A lot of things you want to get, you can't get anymore. Nope, we got a lot to.
We're a couple of old dads, man.
I know it's crazy how it sneaks up on you. All of a sudden, you're like older, and then like when you were younger and looking at someone who's our age right now, you were like thinking they were so old. I don't feel that old, but like I do feel it in my workouts. After like I'm more, the recovery time takes longer and stuff like that.
I say we've held up pretty well.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, and we're still. I still feel like we're teeing off, like we're just getting started. Like, you don't ever want to think like it's over. Like it's never over. Like it's you got a lot of. We still got a lot of life to live. I mean,
yeah, man, you still got a lot of stuff going on. I certainly have plenty of stuff going on over here.
Yeah.
So it's good, man. But yeah, getting back to Hulk, it's just I think even with all the controversies. And it's a shame that tarnished his legacy for a lot of people. But at the end of the day, look, there are a lot of very flawed human beings out there.
Yeah.
And I think part of growing up is looking at your heroes and you're looking at these people that you put on a pedestal and realize that at the end of the day they're just they're human beings like you and me, and they make mistakes.
Human beings like us, but just way more talent.
Yeah, and it's just
in the ring, that is, and on the mic.
People are going to stumble and make mistakes, and despite all his issues, I don't know. I like to believe that he was a good guy. He seemed like a kind person for the most part.
Just a bad night, and we haven't heard anything. Like you said, like there wasn't a long.
Maybe not the most popular coworker either, but I don't know. I mean, depends on who you ask.
That was a cutthroat business, though. Like that's just how the business went. Like it was either him or somebody else. Like of course
I'll tell you this: there are a lot of people who loved working with him because they knew that they were going to be making some extra money because he was the draw.
And Bischoff talked about, though, when he had the guaranteed contracts, Hogan didn't mind putting people over because you got paid the same or whatever. Like he did mention that in a podcast.
Yeah. I never really bought that, that criticism of him not putting people over.
He put Goldberg over on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, clean.
On Nitro.
Yeah, that was
an unbelievable.
That made Goldberg's career.
Yeah, that's Goldberg's like best match of all time or whatever.
I think it's at the Georgia Dome.
It was
isn't that the football stadium?
Although it was
too?
stupid, they might have been able to save it for a pay-per-view, but like it was still like everybody could tune in. I'm sure the ratings.
Well, think about it. Wasn't that like a stadium show on TV, like not a pay-per-view? Like that's how huge WCW was.
And then it was that was Hogan's decision allegedly, unless that wasn't true too. But he did say like he called up Bishop or something the morning of, like, hey, I want to do this or whatever. It went down. What do we got there? What is that? Is that a instant message from someone or something? Is anybody watching?
I have no idea. I was trying to look at the analytics, see if we got comments in the feed. Got nothing, but that's fine.
Yeah, I don't care.
This is just an excuse for you and me to shoot the breeze.
Yeah,
and I'm always down for that. But
maybe we should do more of these more often.
One other thing I have to address is that his last appearance on the Netflix on Raw, and just got booed out of the building in Los Angeles.
That was upsetting to me, man.
Yeah,
he's still Hulk Hogan. Like, geez, like
that was wild.
He's older, and that's his last like memory on the right.
I know that sucks. And I remember going to WrestleMania in Tampa when he was hosting with Titus, and he got a few boos back then, but like it wasn't like everyone booing him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So look,
that's right.
I'm sure.
He did get booed in Tampa too. That was in 2021, I think.
Yeah, it was the pandemic WrestleMania. I was there for that, so he got a little bit of heat, but like it wasn't like overwhelming like the Los Angeles thing was, and that's like several years after the fact. I mean,
Yeah, maybe.
and,
Yeah,
and look, this my show. It's not a political show. I'm not here to try to tell give my hot takes on politics or anything like that. But especially with him campaigning for doing the Trump campaign and kind of dipping his foot into the politics, which is a risky thing because
yeah,
it's
it
like
is.
you're immediately, it's a ballsy thing to do because you're immediately alienating half of your fan base right there. Because it's a tough thing, but I guess he felt passionate enough that he wanted to do it, and you,
Yeah,
but and people said, oh well, the booth it had nothing to do with politics, and I'm like, that's Los Angeles. You can't you can't tell me that had nothing to do with politics. Like
right.
I'm sure
Right.
it had to do with a lot of different stuff.
There's still a lot of like Republicans though in Los Angeles as well. I'm thinking like it's just like it's so big. Like there's got to. I don't
Again,
know.
I'm not saying that's the only reason he got booed, but like you can't sit here and tell me that had nothing to do with it. Like, come on.
That and possibly just them thinking he's trying to make money off of with his beer and all that. Like I don't
Looks
know.
like
Maybe like they felt like they were being used in a way to promote his
yes.
beer. I don't know, but I think that was an awesome idea to have the beer. He should have done that a long
Yeah.
time ago, and it's actually doing really well, I guess, according to Bubba the Love Sponge.
Yeah.
He's even saying it. So yeah, tomorrow Bubba said he's going to have a big show starting at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So it's been leading up to this, and like I was saying, I was hoping this whole thing was like kind of a work where like maybe they'll be friends again or something, and it's leading into something else that they're going to promote. But it ended up being like what Bubba was saying, that he's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that whole coverage thing. I can't.
That's the
help
only
it.
reason I wasn't so shocked, because we hadn't seen him, and I might not have even noticed it unless Bubba like was talking about it. And if I don't know, Bubba always goes away and comes back or something. Like I don't know. All of a sudden, like his show's like entertaining again to me, and maybe it's because he's always talking about Hogan, and that's how yeah. You got other.
I mean, that's the only reason why you and I have been talking about him.
Yeah.
In the last weeks, but I don't know. I just with everything that they have been through and knowing the kind of guy he is, it's just you can't help but just kind of cringe at. And again, turns out he was right about a lot of this stuff, but just the way he's going about it,
Well, he feels in a way that
maybe he feels guilty.
And well, guilty about what?
Like Bubba does, because of all the drama, and maybe that's maybe I don't know. Maybe Bubba feels guilty about all the blowback that Hogan got because of all that stuff, or I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he does. He wants to be Hogan's friend again, but Hogan won't be his friend. He always talks about that on the show. But Hogan can't be his friend because of it'll look bad that he got all this money for suing and all that. That's why that's what Bubba said, and it makes sense. It's like, yeah, he can't be seen with Bubba again if it sounds like you guys set this up. This whole thing was like an inside work to sue Gawker or whatever in a way. I don't know if you ever.
I mean,
heard of that. Anyways, he wants to be friends with him, but Hogan won't be friends with him, and it upsets him because Bubba said he got on the stand and pled the fifth or something, like where like he could have really like hurt Hogan and he didn't or something.
Whatever. I don't know. That he's so slimy. It's just and hard to trust anything the guy says.
It starts with "I'm giving you my wife" to and so like
that whole thing. That's just
like, I don't know how he. So it can't be a work because you got to be thinking like if I do this and then I'm gonna look stupid, like but like Hogan too, like what the heck, like acting on it as well. So those are just some unfortunate things that Hogan will have to always be remembered as. But he also did a lot of charity and stuff. Didn't he do like the most Make-A-Wishes besides John Cena or something? It was like,
I mean, I'm sure he did quite a few of them.
Yeah, and And I only met him that one time at the beach shop. He was cool. Like, I mean, obviously he's he's supposed to be. He's
I would hope so, but yeah.
I saw him one other time outside of walking into Sunblazes in 1997, I think. He was with his son Nick walking to Sunblades because his son like played hockey in Clearwater, and he was wearing a Sting shirt. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, because I was like,
Wait a minute.
yeah, I know. I was like, he's got a Sting shirt on. He's dressed in all black, and I'm like, I thought you hated Sting. I thought Sting was the bad guy, or your rival. Anyways, I saw him there, and then Justin Zaki. I sent you a picture of that on your phone. I don't know if you saw it, of my friend who I was with at.
Yeah.
And then Justin Zaki, he posted.
Yeah, Justin was for those of you. Justin was a buddy of ours from high school.
I'll try and show you here. Here he is at the bar with him.
There you go. Too sweet.
Yeah. So that was
Nice.
that was kind of cool. He got to hang out with him and talk with him and stuff. And I wish I had that opportunity. What I wanted to do actually was get this belt spray painted by him. That was an idea, like, and get it videotape spray painted.
Of him doing it.
But
I think they sell spray painted belts there.
I know, but like, it's not the same.
You want it
videoed, and then you got some like awesome memorabilia that really was like branded by Hogan on, and you could see it on that it's authenticated on the video or whatever. But gone too soon for sure.
Yeah, man. This one hurts.
72 next month, I believe.
Yeah, this one hurts. I mean, 71 is still too young to go, you know?
And it's crazy. It's like, we're doing this now, and he's not even dead for 24 hours. Like, he just died this morning. Isn't that crazy? Like, there's some people like, which are giving some negative opinions that it's just like, wow, like.
Of course. I mean, that's gonna come, but that's gonna be there.
God,
you know what, man? I mean, even despite all this stuff, like, still just an incredible legacy. I mean, he transcended wrestling. He was a pop culture icon. Everyone in the world knew who Hulk Hogan was. If you had no idea what pro wrestling was, you'd be like, oh, that's the thing Hulk Hogan does.
Yeah. And it still is.
This was Ric Flair saying this.
Yeah. So he'll go down as the greatest of all time.
Definitely.
You would have thought, like, I would have thought Ric Flair would have gone before Hogan. That's another.
I mean, no, I know. Yeah, Rick.
I would have bet.
Rick has outlived Ozzy. Like, Rick might outlive us all.
I know, dude. Rick is we got to go meet Rick sometime. Like, he's
Rick's hanging on by a thread.
I know. He just beat cancer or whatever. I don't know that Woo. So, but yeah, it's like him and Hogan are like the top, like, and then there's Stone Cold, The Rock, like Shawn Michaels. Those are like the top guys in my opinion. I don't know if I missed maybe Andre the Giant, obviously.
Yeah. Got me in the conversation, but yeah, man, this is a tough one. But look, I mean, Hulk's gone. But for a lot of us, Hulkamania will live forever. So
yeah, just like that banner he held. You've seen that, right? That was in Orlando when he won the Royal Rumble in 1991, I think, or 90.
Yeah, I mean,
90 years.
And just we've got hours upon hours of entertaining footage that he's provided with us in our lives. So we'll always have that. So for those of you out there, if you have a can of real American beer or whatever you have, raise a glass to the Hulkster.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some tomorrow actually, and have some this weekend.
Right now, he's up there getting into a scrap with Roddy Piper. He's up there getting nose to nose with Andre.
Yeah,
maybe getting hyped up with Mean Gene.
Yeah, I know. It's like there's so many of these legends, and then this is the legend, which sucks. Like, gosh, I wish he had at least 10 more years or something. Like,
yeah, maybe it's a shame with the drama with him and Brooke. He should have been,
I know,
and enjoy his grandkids.
I guess they kind of made up or something 2 years ago, but they hadn't spoken since
Like, I don't know if
2023.
he met. I don't know if he got to spend time with her twins, her babies. So it's that sucks. But
And then his son posted a Father's Day post when he was little with his dad, not today, but like on Father's Day, and it's like I think he kind of knew, like, because there was rumors, right? He might have been in a coma or
I mean,
something.
they had to have known.
Yeah, that was the rumor, because that's why I'm not that shocked today. I'm just saddened that he didn't pull through like we were hoping, and then seeing him again doing a promo or something. I mean, I remember seeing him in May or April when he was on Fox and Friends promoting the new wrestling company with, I think that was in May. It's like everything's so fresh that he was doing, and then he just went downhill. That can happen when you're that old and you're that big
And beat up. I mean, everything you've been through over the years, it catches up to you.
How many surgeries did he have? Like
A lot.
Yeah, like over 20, right, or something like something crazy like that. But
you probably say I had 500, brother.
Yeah,
had 500.
Yeah, you're
dude.
right. Maybe I'm
wrestling for 40 days and 40 nights on the Titanic.
He's done what's cool the last few years. He did a lot of long form podcasts you can rewatch again. He was on Joe Rogan. He was on the PBD podcast. He was on the Jake and whatever brothers. What are
the Jake and Logan Paul?
Yeah. Logan Paul
Also,
brothers. And so there's all kinds of like content of him giving the stories, and now we just got to see what what's his name says, the guy with the racket, the tennis racket. What's his name?
Jim Cornette.
Yeah, we got to see what
Lord.
he like hates Hogan.
Yeah,
So
he hates.
Hopefully, he has something nice to say at least.
Who knows, dude? Well, anyways, yeah, Chad, thanks for doing this, man. I know
thank you. This was
always
fun.
good to talk to you. Thanks everyone for tuning in, man. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. We love you.
Peace.
There we go.